Okay, let's get into the new chapter. In this chapter, we are talking about objects, how to create objects and how to use it. And I will teach you some kind of data object that is very useful in our code. Okay. The first, we have the concept about the life cycle of an object. What is a life cycle? Well, for example, as a human, we have life cycle. We are born in the world and then we live in the world for quite a long time. Hopefully, we can live as long as I want, but it's impossible because one day we will die, we will pass away, we leave the world. That is the life cycle of a human. So for object, it's the same. The object have a life cycle. The difference is you are the God. You create the object. You use it in your application, and once the object is no use, you will delete them, you remove them. So it's a life cycle about object. Well, we have this diagram to show the life cycle of an object. Okay. In this diagram, we'll notice they are divided two parts. The up part and the bottom part. The up part, all this life cycle happened in the memory. And the bottom part we name it as external memory or network. It's another environment that object is living. Okay, first we look at this memory. Inside the memory, we have this life cycle. Well, the first step will create object. We have code from class. As a prototype of object, we create object. Now we have an object, a new object. This is first step. And then we can use the object. Use the object. We have reference variable, so we use the reference variable to access the object inside the memory and use it. And the next step, the final step is once this object is no use in your application, in your software, and it should be deleted, should be destroyed. We name it as garbage connection. This is final step. All these three steps happens inside memory. And the bottom part, we name it external memory. External memory, for example, we have hard disk. Now, the hard disk is when its power is turned off. The data which is stored in the hard disk never disappear. But inside the memory, if we turn off the computer, all the data stored in the memory will disappear. Okay, that is difference. So why we should have the external memory? That is, if we turn off our computer, all the objects inside our software, inside our application, will disappear. And if we want to store this object for the future use, we should use serialization technology to store the object into our hard disk or the network storage as a file. Now we have a file. Use this format to store the data inside the object. And in the future, or in another place, we can use the serialization technology to reconstitute the object based on the data stored in the hard disk. So we can store objects into our hard disk as a disk file, and in the future, we can reconstitute the object from the hard disk uses data and put it into memory again. This is the life cycle which connect with the external memory. Okay. Uh, well, I will give example about life cycle. How the life cycle is used in a real application. Now we have example for all of you. Uh, that example is online shopping. In the online shopping, the life cycle of object is very useful to realize online shopping. Why? Okay. Uh, as you know, if you want to buy something online, first step you should log in or you sign in. Yeah, you sign in the website. This is the first step, and then you enter the site for the shopping, and inside you can see lots of items on the site, and you pick what you want and put it into the shopping cart. So I have a shopping cart. It's very important. A shopping cart. Now we put items into this shopping cart. A lot of items that you want. You put it in the shopping cart, and then the next step. Oh, sometimes it's very sad because we have no money, no enough money. So maybe inside the shopping cart we have a lot of items I want. But once we come to the next step we should pay the bill. If I have not enough money, we must remove lots of items out from the shopping cart, and so you can afford it and pay the bill. And once we have finished the pay the bill, and the next step, we come to offline step and wait the seller to deliver package to you and finish the whole steps of online shopping. This is we call them assertion for online shopping. Okay. Well, so the question is the life cycle of object is how it's used in the online shopping. Well, a life cycle of object used in this step about this shopping cart. Okay. Uh, for example, because this website or the online shopping site is used by a lot of people, so a lot of people will come to a site, and each people, the online site will give them a shopping cart. So a lot of people will have a lot of shopping cart inside this memory. This memory is located in the server. Now in the server memory, we have a lot of shopping cart here. Wow, there's the first shopping cart, the second shopping cart, third shopping cart, fourth shopping cart, and for lots of people inside the memory. Okay? Because the shopping cart is an object, and objects create for each person who want to buy something on this site. And one important thing is, as you know, this whole session, we may not finish all the session before we go out of the site. That means sometimes maybe we sign the site and pick these items we want and put it into a shopping cart. Then we leave. Why? Because we have not enough money and waiting for the time to have discount. So maybe the future, maybe the next week, we will come back. And now we have discount, so we can give the cheap price for some items. Then we will pay the bill. So maybe we finish, put things in the shopping cart, then I leave. Now, if you have a shopping cart, but you have not to continue your shopping process, how the system do? Is your shopping cart still put it inside the memory? No, because the memory is limited space, so the system should remove your shopping cart and release more memory for the other people use, for the other people, for the creator own shopping cart. But the point is, if your shopping cart is removed, once you come back the next day and next week, how to recover all the data in your shopping cart? So this is life cycle. About the external memory. If the shopping cart is no use anymore, the system will put this data inside your shopping cart into the hard disk. Now we have a hard disk, external memory, and put the data of your shopping cart, of your objects into a hard disk. Now your data in the hard disk, and then the system will remove the shopping cart, remove the object, delete the object, and so a more memory space will released for the other people use. So once you come back, for example, you come back the next week or the tomorrow you come back, and once you come back, once you sign the site again, you come back again, and then the system will reconstitute your shopping cart for you based on this data that is stored in the hard disk. Okay, so your shopping cart will be reconstituted. Now we have the same shopping cart as the time you leave. So you can continue your shopping process. And this is how the life cycle we used in the real application.